Hi everyone and welcome to our Farmhouse Christmas first kit of 2019 to be released. I know a lot of you are already into your Christmas creating. We've seen the orders coming through the stores where you're starting to get on that Christmas stuff, whether you're making Christmas gifts, you're making Christmas cards, whatever it is, and it couldn't be a better time for our Farmhouse Christmas to be released. As you can see in our bundled collection, for those of you, once again, that are new to us, I'll quickly run through this. Our bundled includes all 5 coordinated products that are included in this Farmhouse Christmas collection. By purchasing it as the bundled collection, you do save 20% versus purchasing each item individually, and there are no duplicates. So do not worry about that. So without further ado, let's really get into it here. Let's not waste any more time and see what's here. So as you can see in this Farmhouse Christmas, the colors are just beautiful. Traditional red and greens, you've got the black in there as your contrasting color, which is just gorgeous. A beautiful color of an off-white, and here you are with the buffalo checks. For those of you that are also quilters or enjoy sewing, things like that, you know how popular the buffalo checks are these days. This is going to fit perfectly in with your paper crafting. There are so many options with this collection, and you're going to see it. This has a real vintage feel to it, which is kind of the farmhouse movement. You see the grain sack papers here, and again in the multiple colors, so that way no matter what color palette you choose, you really have so many options and so many ways you can go with this. You're gonna love this. It feels so much like home. Here's the shiplap in that painted weathered wood. A smaller check, in case you didn't, you're not a fan of the buffalo checks, there is the smaller one in there as well. And as well as other patterns you'll see in just stars, squares, things like that, because we all need a lot of coordinated patterns when we're making multiple cards, multiple scrapbook layouts or mini albums, journal pages. Maybe you're making a stationery booklet for someone for a Christmas gift. You always want coordinates, but not the exact same thing, and we certainly understand that, and that's the reason for the variation in colors. Buttons are in there so that way you have that little hit of color and texture, just to add that extra bit of interest into your paper crafts. The candy canes, obviously quintessential for a Christmas. Card labels. So here's where we really get into that farmhouse feel, right? Have yourself a merry little Christmas and let your heart be light. Isn't that gorgeous? Like you can see, as I'll just hover here for a second, because you can see the pattern in that buffalo check paper. You can see that weave pattern here in this ornament. Just beautiful, right? More of the card labels. There are 4 of them in here. Great starting points for you. So if you're doing a kit that is, a card, if you're doing a layout, those are great starting points in order to take off from. Here is, again, frames in that same feel and same flow. Same thing with the journal mats. The journal mats come in so incredibly handy because you have this great area that is designated. So it highlights it without taking away from things. So if you're doing mini albums, you're doing layouts, you want a card insert, whatever it is, you have enough of a focus on your journaling, because obviously you're probably saying something that is quite heartfelt or important, but it doesn't take away from anything else. Same thing with the label tags. These are blank so that they gives you the option of writing in whether that's a name, a date, a title, whatever, an emotion, whatever it is, but yet still doesn't take away from your main focus of your papercraft creation. The mat squares. Look at that great stitching that goes around both the center as well as the exterior of the mat. Fabulous, fabulous items in order to create with. So well done. Mary Fran does that for us so well. 'Tis the season. Here's the Christmas ornaments. Look at the worn edges around it, the weathered feel to it, which is ever so popular in the farmhouse feel. We know that it's really popular these days. We happen to like the feel of it as well. So this was a kit that we definitely knew had to come out this year. Cozy and warm, so your phrase labels, again, look at how it has that farmhouse feel of those farmhouse wood painted signs, things like that, with the font work that Mary Fran chose, as well as the kind of worn look to it, if you will. That is so right for this kit. Again, use these as enhancements, but also as maybe, hey, I'm dreaming of a farmhouse Christmas. You may take a look at that and say, you know what? I have those Christmas photos from last year or from 10 years ago or from whatever. I want to scrapbook those, or I want to send a card to my special friend, and that photo was of them at our Christmas or Christmas party. What a great starting point. Use these things as they're intended to enhance, but also as great starting points for you. So lots of good phrases for you to hopefully and quickly. We know that Christmas is a busy time. We want you to quickly and easily breeze through it, but yet still have great results, and that's the reason for those. Poinsettia clusters. Look at these. Don't they look like they could just pick them up right off the screen like they are real items, right? Made out of fabric. Just fabulous elements. The ribbons, again, I've said this before, use them. Make yourself a goal to, I'm going to use the ribbon. And you'll see in the digital scrapbooking layout inspiration, as well as my card at the end, we'll show you how to use them in order to get the effect from them. Great wooden weathered snowflake. Isn't that fabulous? Isn't that something you'd want for your house, really, for a house decor? Stockings in, again, that fabric feel, that real farmhouse fabric feel with the burlap in there, the wood slices in there that are so well done. You're going to see those individually at the end of this FQB. Some tags, obviously, again, great items. Let's talk about how you can use these. You can use these as just simple, as an element or embellishment that you tuck in behind stuff, because it does have that shape and texture and color. You can print these off and use these as gift tags. You can use them as inserts and journal in the center of them. You know, the creativity is boundless, people. You know, your minds can do it all. Tin snowflakes, again, very much in the farmhouse feel. Same thing in the star and the Christmas trees, right? We have fabrics, and we also have the tin one. Great elements, and there's the burlap one to fit in, and the white wooden weathered shiplap. Great elements that I know you can see. There's the wooden white weathered frame. How fabulous is that? I know you can see this coming together and how you want to create with this. And here's the wood slices that I talked about earlier. Some of them are decorated nicely for you. Some of them have the words emblazoned on them. Some of them have embellishments. Some of them are a little more plain like this. So you can further adorn it if you want, or use it as is, whatever it works for you. And there is our FQB with our word stamp at the end here. So again, this is a digital stamp. Use it exactly as you would an acrylic stamp, where you stamp it in your ink pad and place it onto your paper. You use this in the exact same way. So there's the FQB. Our little bits is our additional elements pack, and let's look at everything that's in here. You'll see some additional candy canes in colors that you did not get in the FQB, and again, additional items in the ornaments so that you have more and more creative ability. Same thing with the label tags. Fabulous elements, some washi tape. These are great washi tape strips. Use them again. I'll show you in Mary Fran's layout inspiration how to use them. And if you're kind of wondering, well, I like them and they're really cool, but how would I fit them in? I'll give you some examples of that, so that way you'll be able to see it. And here are some wood signs, old-fashioned sleigh rides, hot cocoa blankets, and carols. Aren't these just to die for? Not only can you use them in your paper crafts, but wouldn't you love to do this? Take this and go ahead and make a wood sign out of it in real life, right? You know, if you enjoy that and you do make signs, fabulous inspiration to count on, right? Let it snow in the stamps, again, the digital stamps, comfort and joy, jingle bells, and 'tis the season. So these are fabulous as well in order to enhance and start your paper craft off right with the theme or whatever it is that you're going for. So in our 2 additional paper pack, again, you're going to see these buffalo checks, and you're going to see the same patterns that you saw in the FQB, but not in these colors. So there are no duplicates in here. You're getting additions to it. So it's kind of like buying, you know what, I bought this wrapping paper and I bought these bows and their coordinates. Oh, and here's another wrapping paper that goes with it, or bows that go with it, so that way you can coordinate the presents under your tree and make it look really cool. Same thing goes with the papers. The papers, these are additional, it's an additional paper pack in order to complement it, because we know if you're like us, you're going to create way more than just one item with this kit. And you want to create coordinated items that are not the exact same. You don't want everything to be the exact identical same. Our solids, Solids, as you can see, here I'll stop here for a second, have that pattern, that square pattern in them, which is really, really neat. So it has a hint of a pattern to it. But your solids, so you can use it certainly as a standalone paper. But your solids you can also use to back main elements, back your main papers, whatever it is when you're making your paper crafts, and have the exact coordinated color in order to do it. Lastly is our alpha. And the alpha is, again, created in that worn fabric feel. Doesn't that have a real sense of home, warmth? Gives you that real glow in your heart where you just feel at home. You feel content. You feel happy. That kind of stuff. That's exactly what this alpha was intended to convey. And I think really, truly has. Use this alpha, again, as a focal point. When you want to highlight something, whether that's a name, a date, a place, a feeling, somebody's initials, whatever it is, maybe it was the place that you celebrated Christmas or whatever, use the alpha in order to highlight those things because it does give you the large scale format in order to do that. And that, folks, is our Farmhouse Christmas. Now, to give you some inspiration, like I spoke about earlier, let's have a look at the layout. And in the layout, you'll see, here's the washi tape. You see how it gives it just a hit of color up there? If this was left as blank white, it doesn't have the same appeal. The same thing come down here in the bottom left. There's how you utilize the ribbons. You don't have to use the ribbon as a full, they're created in 12 inches long. You don't have to use the full ribbon. Just use a hit of it. See how the hint of it down here ties in, the black buffalo check ties in with the tree, which ties in with the background up here. The green of this ribbon here ties in with the green of the washi tape that you can see in the other areas, as well as the leaves on the poinsettia. See how it kind of, and as well as the photo. See how it kind of draws it together? That's what I'm talking about when you use those things. That is how to use them. The glad tidings down the side, that's the digital stamp. See how Mary Fran just kind of turned it to the side, uses it as that because she wanted those words on there. There is no other element that she wanted to put in there. I just want to use the words. That's how you use the digital stamps as well, which I'm sure a lot of you are stampers. You've used those before. But again, look at how many of the elements go together in order to blend this beautiful, beautiful layout out. Lastly, I'll show you the card here. The card, here you are for a Christmas card idea. Again, this is how I chose to use the digital stamp by placing it over top of everything to give you that sentiment in there, but yet not taking away from the beauty of the central elements in here. I'm dreaming of a farmhouse Christmas. I know I wanted to use that because maybe I'm sending a Christmas card to someone that really does love the farmhouse style, things like that, enjoys the warmth and what it conveys. So I just added in some other elements, but I used that in terms of the feel of the way the feel of the font, the color of the red and white. I used that, as you can see, when I was choosing the background papers, when I was choosing the other elements. It was very, very easy to do. So folks, that is the first Christmas kit of the year. That is our Farmhouse Christmas. Let's go to the FQB, give you a real good look at it. So that is our Farmhouse Christmas collection, and I hope that you've loved it as much as we do. We really love the look of it, love the feel of it, and love the emotion that it conveys. And I hope that your Christmas creating, it embodies that when you do your Christmas creating. Before you leave, in order to get this kit for yourself at our store, please take a moment to look in the bottom right of this screen. You'll see our Nitwit Collections logo. Click on that in order to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll be made aware of any new videos that we place out by doing so. As well, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, let us know your thoughts on the kit, maybe what you're going to create with it, things like that. We're always happy to hear from you and hear what you loved about the kit, what was your favorite element, what was your favorite background paper, things like that, so that we know to include more of those items when we are creating. So thanks once again, and I hope you enjoy this first Christmas kit release. There will be more to follow, so stay tuned and stay glued to our channel as well as our store in order to see what else is going to be forthcoming. Thanks once again, and happy creating.